Recently, my girlfriend asked me if I've been attracted to other girls since we've been together, and I told her that I found other girls attractive, but I didn't feel attracted to them or have any desire towards them. She doesn't believe me and says that just because I'm a young man, this has to happen, and she wants to break up with me because she says she doesn't trust me, claiming I'm lying to her about this. Men of Reddit, can you please help me prove this to her and confirm that we men don't have to feel desire or attraction just because we find a girl attractive? Thank you. Story 1. I'll be honest. She either trusts you or she doesn't. You don't have to prove anything. As long as you don't cheat and have nothing to hide, your only reply to her should be that you are with her and that's it. If she wants to break up with you just because she thinks you will be tempted to cheat, so be it. Goodbye, as the Germans would say. That is very immature. Story 2. All men are attracted to other women, so I want to break up with you. I can start dating another man who, by my logic, will also be attracted to other women, and the cycle will continue. Story 3. This girl is showing alarming levels of insecurity, and she should be able to properly deal with this for it to not be a deal breaker in this relationship. Story 4. Watch the new season of Reacher with her and ask if she is attracted to the main character. If she says no, she is lying and you should leave. If she says yes, you cannot trust her and you should leave. But wait, that is insane. Listen to Mike Papp's comment. Do not even engage with the conversation of, is it possible to desire someone with her because it just indulges her insecurities. Story 5. If you are genuine about how you feel in this post, I would ask her if she fantasizes about someone or if there is someone else. In my own heart and mind, I know I never looked at another woman with lust or envy. Every time I've been accused of things like this, it's always been projection. Good luck. Story 6. Update. I've just talked to her, and we broke up because I promised never to be attracted to another girl, and she couldn't believe it and decided to break up. I am devastated. 3 years of true love gone to waste. Story 7. I know this is Ask Men, but I really want to provide some input as someone who used to think like your girlfriend. The men here are right. She is insecure, and that is not a mature mindset. Of course, you are going to find other women attractive. Wait until she finds a man she finds attractive herself. She will change her tune then. Story 8. She either has observed behavior in you that contradicted your words, or never believed that men are capable of not being attracted to other women all the time. Have a sit-down conversation on which it is and if she thinks that or feels that and why. Then decide for yourself if you want to continue the relationship. Maybe it's a communication issue, maybe she has trust issues, or maybe you're not self-aware enough of how you act around other women. Story 9. I'll be honest with you, in my own experience, I was given every reason in the book as to why a girl I was seeing wanted to break up with me. At the end of the day, they were all just excuses to justify the fact she wanted to leave me for someone else. There wasn't really any point in trying to push the issue. But in your case, either she has trust issues and doesn't trust you, or otherwise, this is just a reason she feels is easier to justify. Either way, it's best to move on because people like that are not worth being around or with. Story 10. If she wants to break up with you, let her. If she cannot or will not understand that it is possible to like things but not want them, she does not have the intelligence or emotional intelligence to be in a long-term relationship, and she is far too insecure. Chances are she wants to break up with you for other reasons, and this is just the excuse she is landing on. Either she is foolish, insecure, or manipulative. Story 11. I have to agree with Mike. Your girlfriend either trusts you or doesn't. It was conversations and ideas and hypotheticals like this that contributed to the end of my relationship. It's human to still find other people attractive once you enter a relationship. It's not taking action on flirting or emotional cheating and entertaining other people romantically or sexually. That's just basic to being in a relationship. Trust is fundamental. If she doesn't trust you, then there's no relationship, sadly. Story 12. Sounds like she has some issues with insecurity. What does she think? That she's the only attractive female on the planet? Is she living in the real world? I see attractive women everywhere I go. But that doesn't mean I'm going to cheat on my wife. I'd get a new girlfriend if I were you. Story 13. You can acknowledge that a person is objectively attractive without personally finding them attractive. I recognize why women find Henry Cavill attractive, but I'm not attracted to men, so he's not attractive to me. Saying that you find someone attractive and at the same time aren't attracted to them is a direct contradiction. The question is, are they so attractive to you that you can't get them out of your mind? Probably not. I find most women I meet attractive to some degree from a strictly superficial perspective, but that means basically nothing. The attractiveness doesn't occupy my mind, and they're not a threat to my relationship. I think finding someone attractive does come with some amount of desire, but comparing the desire of a brief superficial attraction to a loving relationship is like comparing love to a piece of cake. Like others have pointed out, don't feed into her insecurity games. She needs to work that out for herself. She trusts you or she doesn't. Story 14. A medium rare steak looks good all the time. But when you've eaten 2 pounds of it and a pound of mac and cheese and potatoes, I don't look at it the same way I would on an empty stomach. It's attractive all the time, but you don't want it. Story 15. Sorry, cannot relate. The only difference when I am in a relationship is that I do not act on those feelings. I do not all of a sudden become desensitized to the appeal of other women. Story 16. You need to date a grown-up. I am a woman. There are plenty of attractive men and women out there, and we have eyes. There is a big difference between saying someone is attractive because it is just a fact, and you being attracted to them. Story 17. Explain to her that when you are well drained, if you know what I mean, you are not thirsty. You are indifferent to sexual features, parameters, if you will, of other women. Even if they are flirty and are throwing themselves at you, you just do not react to sexuality the same or as much compared to when you are thirsty. Story 18. Nothing to prove. There isn't a single person on this earth now, before and after us who won't see someone and think they're attractive regardless of their own relationship status. It doesn't mean a person will act upon it. Only immature, insecure individuals will convince themselves otherwise. People who can't comprehend this or other similar situations often struggle with their own inability to control themselves. They only view everything from their own perspective. Basically, she's admitting she will or would cheat. Therefore, everyone in her mind would do the same in a sense. Just my opinion on it, though. But that's how I'd see it. An attractive person is an attractive person. It's natural, but what wouldn't be natural is if the person kept on about it. That would obviously upset anyone. Nobody would want to hear that all the time. And it wouldn't be healthy to continuously point out that someone is attractive to someone I'm with. That would make her feel like she's not attractive enough. That would make anyone self-conscious about themselves. A quicker way to phrase it might be this: saying a person of the opposite sex is attractive doesn't mean they would cheat. Just as saying another person of the same gender is attractive means they are gay. Story 19. I've worked with plenty of beautiful women and gotten to know them. Just because they are beautiful does not mean they are good people. They were beyond horrible. That killed any attraction possible, so if you could offer me $1 billion to hook up with them, I'd still say no. Looks are not everything. Story 20. Seems like a trap to me. This is the way I have always explained it. I feel an instinctual biological attraction to pretty women, but the logical part of me has no desire to risk my happy relationship by getting involved with such a person. Story 21. No, there is no help to be given to you here. Now it is about seeing attractive girls. Tomorrow it will be about talking to your unattractive coworkers or something. Find a better one. Story 22. It's not something to prove. Guess what? People try to look good, and we are trained to see people who look good. It doesn't mean we're cheating scum. If that really bothers her, I'd be worried for you. Story 23. You ever get stuffed with a great meal at a restaurant, and the waiter comes with the dessert menu? That's us men. Yes, we know that dessert is delicious, but we don't want any part of it. And we pass. Story 24. In all honesty, if it was me, I would leave. That is some next-level insecurity. Even if you manage to overcome this hurdle, I cannot imagine what she would act like in the future. Story 25. Too late. You already walked into her trap. Now you are caught in her web. I think you will find the more you struggle, the more entangled you will become. Story 26. Sounds like one that's best to let go. Any woman who is so insecure with herself that she can't trust what you say is not worth wasting time on. From this point on, she will find any little thing she can to prove she's right and you're a cheater. This will drive a wedge between you or put you in a never-ending loop of trying to prove something to her that she will never see, and you won't feel like you're doing enough. Best to just let her go. That being said, yes, I find women attractive whom I would never make a move on or be attracted to in that way. Take my word and dip out, my friend. As someone who is currently in a relationship with a woman who doesn't trust anything I say and is constantly trying to find anything to say I'm cheating, it's not worth the headache. Can't even comment on a friend's post simply because they are a woman. Can't have female friends even if I've known them since elementary school. Unfortunately, I have a kid with this woman, so I'm not as free to leave, but in your case, I'm going to assume you don't have kids, and you should split as soon as possible. Find a woman who isn't so insecure. People are allowed to be insecure to a point. When that insecurity starts to spill out and affect others, it's not healthy, nor is it something another person should be worried about fixing. There are women who will trust you and not require you to prove much, if anything. If you know you're loyal and don't cheat, then that's all that matters. Story 27. There are lots of pretty girls that are not attractive. Attractive is much more than looks. Ask her if she is only with you because of the way you look. Story 28. There is testosterone flowing through the veins of every man out there. We all are attracted to beautiful women. It is how you manage those desires that makes you faithful or a player. If you can have a conversation as a person and not try to bed them and see them as a real person, or are you secretly imagining bending them over the end of the couch? Sometimes it is hard. And it is what women do not understand. We cannot stop the biology, but we can decide how we respond to it. Story 29. Of course, men can find women attractive and not do anything about it. And we can find women that other people think are attractive not so attractive. I think you guys need to hash out the definition of attractive because you yourself used it in different ways in your question. Story 30. Other people are attractive. It's not as if she doesn't have some movie star crush, or that cute guy from work, school, or wherever. You don't have to be attracted to people to find them attractive. Story 31. Tell her to grow up. Humans finding other humans attractive is a survival trait. Being in a committed relationship is a mental thing. Some people can handle it, some can't. Tell her she's just going to have to trust you like you trust her. Story 32. No matter what answer you gave, she would have found something wrong with it. She feels insecure about something. Maybe she wants to break up with you but doesn't have the guts to tell you. Maybe she's just looking for any excuse to break up with you. Is this really someone you want to be in a relationship with? If she's not going to trust you, why do you want to be with her? Story 33. Well, you're saying I find others attractive, but you're not attracted to them. It's confusing. You're better off telling her that yes, of course, you notice when other women are beautiful, but you are only interested in her. She's likely just feeling insecure. This is a no-win situation, but if you care about her, you'd do well to reassure her and frequently affirm that you find her attractive and are invested in your relationship. Story 34. How old is she? Sounds like some young woman insecure nonsense. She's not ready for a relationship. All men are pigs, but she sure loves her bacon. Oftentimes, when men get into relationships, they get tunnel vision for their girl. Rose-tinted glasses is a real thing. When you're in love, you see the best in your partner and appreciate flaws as part of their unique charms. You don't view strangers like that. You view them as distractions or potential problems to your happiness. Story 35. She immediately has insecurities. Speaking from experience, you need to leave. I used to get grief because I would talk to the server who came to our table. So whenever she would bring drinks, I would say thank you. If she asked me if I needed anything else, I would tell her, please. These were considered flirting and trying to engage with the waitress in more than one relationship. Fidelity is the number one thing to me, and to have this said to me more than once really upset me. So now, if I get into a relationship, it's one of the boundaries I'm going to have. I talk politely to females all the time. That does not mean I want to engage with them. If this is a problem for you, you can move on, and I will stay where I am. Story 36. It sounds like she is trying to get out of the relationship. That question is a common trap that women use to start the fight to end it all. Women do not understand the wiring in a man's brain, so explaining it to them sounds like you are trying to excuse something you did. You need to just be blunt and ask her why she asked a question that she did not want an honest answer to. Why now? Guaranteed, something is up. Story 37. Cut your losses, bro. My wife and I check out women together because attractive is attractive. As long as I'm not actively trying to be with someone else, thinking they're attractive isn't a problem. Story 38. You can find someone objectively beautiful without feeling the need to be with them. If she doesn't get this, then perhaps she is having trouble not being attracted to guys around her. Just flip it. She should get it, or we'll start talking about the real reason she brought this up. Good luck. Story 39. Tell her to stop projecting her insecurities onto you. If you walk into a candy shop with her and she doesn't want you looking at candy, then maybe she is the one with the problem. She shouldn't be holding your morality and character into question when you've done nothing to warrant that sort of suspicion. This is definitely toxic behavior on her part, as she either has self-esteem issues or is projecting guilt on you from someone she previously chose to date that caused her trauma. Tell her you will not tolerate her control issues, and you won't be the whipping boy for her unresolved feelings and trauma from past relationships. Let her know you deserve better than to be blamed for her insecurities, as you're doing nothing wrong. She is looking for a problem. She is looking for drama, so do yourself a favor and check her on it. If you lose her, then she proved she's not dating material. If she stays, then at least she can either start acting right or you can choose to leave. Either way, if you don't meet this head on now, then it will only get worse as you'd be enabling her toxic behaviors.